How do you cut out words because it doesn't match your theology? And if you're going to engage in this kind of chicanery, you think I'm going to be a Christian? You think I'm going to get baptized? You think I'm going to convert to Christianity? You lost your mind?
Okay, Jeffrey, you're live on the air. Go right ahead with your question.
Yeah, Rabbi, my question is, I don't know, in Romans 10, Paul is quoting Deuteronomy 30, and Deuteronomy 30 is literally saying that the commandments, you can do them and keep them, and Paul's saying that it's about the law of faith or something. I was hoping if you could explain where the heck he's getting at. I don't understand.
Paul deserves to be resurrected, so I can put him on trial and throw him in prison for this. Really, that may seem extreme, and to some people that may offend you. And if it does, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend people. But it's really what Paul did, and there's so many victims. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't like non-Jews. And as a youngster, I didn't like non-Jews because they didn't like me for some reason, so I couldn't stand them either. I've changed my view 180 degrees. So as a youngster, I would have been so happy. Thank goodness those low-life... The reason I didn't like Gentiles, they just wanted to kill me. They just wanted to beat me up, and I was born 15 years after the Holocaust. I knew what they did to us. And I didn't meet any nice Gentiles as a kid, except for Sally. I don't know if she's alive anymore. Sally was the cleaning lady. She was a black woman, and she had a smile that can light up the room. The sweetest, sweetest, sweetest person. I don't know how old she would be today. Maybe she's alive. If you're watching, Sally, you were the one very, very sweet non-Jew that I met in my childhood. And maybe that gave me hope. But that was it. Nobody else. In Borough Park, I don't think there were any black. There were no black people in that area. It was all Hispanic, Irish, Puerto Rican, Catholic. That was it. So, but Sally was a sweetheart. I was thinking about her this Shabbos. She was a very sweet woman. Had a smile on her face that can radiate. Let's get ourselves back to Paul, because now I really do care about non-Jews. So Paul completely misquotes a passage that should be a very big problem for him. The book of Romans, the epistle to Romans, is the most influential of Paul's 13 letters. And in it, he wants to lay out the case that no one can keep the Torah. You don't have to keep the Torah. We're all sinful. That's where you find original sin in Romans 5. That's where you find that man's sinful condition in Romans 3. Paul already in chapter 1 is saying that not by the law, but only by faith in Romans 1:17. Don't ask. The whole thing is a nightmare because he's misappropriating. I could sit here all night. He's misappropriating passages. And this passage in Romans 10 is perhaps the motherlode of all mistranslated, misappropriated passages in all 16 chapters of Romans. So the Torah explicitly assures us in Deuteronomy 30 that the Torah that I'm giving you, just so you know, Deuteronomy 30, Moses is 120 years old, right? He's approaching his death. I mean, he's 119, and it's almost his time of his death. In fact, the whole book of Deuteronomy essentially covers the last 2 months of Moses' life, okay? And Moshe Rabbeinu, this is his farewell, okay? And he says, I want you to know that these commandments I'm giving you, they're not too hard, they're not too far off. No one should say, who will go up to heaven and bring it to us. You shouldn't say the Torah is too difficult. Who will go over the sea to bring it to us so we keep it? In verse 14, he says, the law is close to you, it's in your heart, that you may keep it. And I really wish you would look this up. I really, really wish. I really wish you would not take my word for it. Whether you like me or don't like me, I want you to look it up, please. It really would mean a lot to you if you would look it up. Really. I can't force you. I don't know why people don't look things up, but just look it up. Make sure I'm quoting in context. Read it. It'll make you a better person. Read the Torah. It's so delicious. So Torah's message in these epic passages is that it's not hard to keep the Torah. It's not too far away. It's near to you in your heart that you may do it. Please look it up. Okay? So it says that you can do it, which is a nightmare for Christianity, a nightmare for Christian theology. And Christian theology basically is all contained, not almost all contained in Paul's letters. Okay? Paul's letters is theology, very little history, the Gospels is storytelling and not much theology. Basically, it's all Paul. Paul is the author of Christian theology. Okay, what is Paul going to do with this? Don't ask. So Paul quotes this. You wonder, why would Paul quote this? This is a nightmare for Paul. Paul is saying you don't have to keep the Torah. By faith alone, you're saved, misquoting Habakkuk 2:4. It's such a nightmare. He misquotes it in Romans 1:17. He misquotes it in Galatians 3:11. Don't ask. Habakkuk is saying that that the righteous are people who have faith that ultimately the redemption is going to come. But Paul used that term faith as not keeping the law. You think I'm making this up, right? Look it up for yourself. All right, let's stay close here. That phrase, that last modifier at the very end of, look at Deuteronomy 30, verse 14, is a problem. It's a nightmare. It completely exposes, demonstrates, without question, that Paul was a liar. Paul was misleading his readers in Rome. So Paul changes it. Now look at Romans 10, verse 6 through 8, where he says, do not say in your heart who will ascend to heaven, which means to bring Christ down to us. What does it say to bring Christ down to us? Doesn't say it anywhere. He puts that in, they put it in parentheses because it grammatically doesn't even work, you know. Who'll go to the sea, who will go and descend to the deep. But what does it say? I want you to concentrate on verse 8, and I want you to compare that to Deuteronomy 30, verse 14. But what does it say? The word is near to you, in your mouth and in your heart. And you notice what Paul did? He actually, those last words in Deuteronomy 30, verse 14, where it says that you can do it, he takes out a scissor and he cuts it out, or he takes his mouse, he selects in the word that you may do it. So now you have white letters on a blue background, and he hits the delete key and they're gone. How do you play with the Bible? How do you alter the Jewish scriptures? How do you cut out words because it doesn't match your theology? And if you're going to engage in this kind of chicanery, you think I'm going to be a Christian? You think I'm going to get baptized? You think I'm going to convert to Christianity? You lost your mind? See, these are not people who just were mistaken or misapprehended what the truth was. These are deliberate. This is first degree. You know, it's first degree murders, like, you know, it's planned, and, you know, the second degree, this is first degree fraud. This is very well planned out. This is not a mistake. There's not a whoops. There are whoopses in the New Testament where the New Testament writers just made a silly mistake. Okay, there are. You know, Matthew 23:35. You know, it's the wrong Zechariah, but there's no theological. Matthew made a mistake. People make mistakes. It's just a mistake. I can make a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake. This is not that. Okay, this is not some Buddhist passing by the statue of Buddha and stopping and bowing, because that's what he's told. This is a scam. How do you change it? It's so simple. So I ask you to do this. And if what I'm telling you isn't there, never watch me again. Never, never. That means I'm lying to you. So look it up for yourself. All you want to do is if you have a computer, you'll have Deuteronomy 30, verse 14 here, and you have Romans chapter 10, verse 8 here. That's all I want you to do. And notice the end of verse 14 is that you may do it. And notice those striking words are absent from Romans. Why? Because in Paul's view, you can't do it. No one can keep the law. No one. Romans chapter 3. Do you follow? So therefore, you need to ask a pastor. I'm saying to you that if you're a Christian and you're watching me, maybe you're angry at me, I don't know. I'm not afraid of the truth. I will go to your priest, go to your pastor and say, I need an explanation for this. If you explain this to me, I'll stay in the church. But if you don't come up with some explanation for this, because this is a smoking gun, I'm out. I'm gone. I don't want to hear the rabbis and the oral Torah and Rabbi Singer is the worst. I'm not interested in that. I need an answer or I'm leaving Christianity. I cannot stay in a religion that peddles in lies. Period. End. That's all. That's all. If you care about the truth. Now, if you care about what religion makes you feel good, stay in the church. Stay in Hinduism, stay in Buddha, whatever religion makes you feel good, knock yourself out. Because all religions clearly can make you feel good. All religions can get you to stop taking drugs and stop drinking alcohol. All religions could take away depression. They all do, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. And every religion has adherents and followers that have miracles that they believe happen because of their religion. So forget that it's changed my life. Okay, just dump that, because all religions that succeed have people, followers that would give their lives for their religion, whose lives have been transformed completely by their religion, whether they're Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, any one of them, they all do that. So if Jesus changed your life, that doesn't mean anything. What only thing that matters is Scripture. Okay, compare those two passages, and if you can't get a good answer, run, not walk. Life, get out of there. Thank you for your question. If you enjoyed this program, please like and subscribe.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא עת נעשה בחפצו כל